Hello guys, this is Key, aka Ordinary Beauty '07. I'm an ordinary person made beautiful from within by my creator, and the number 7 because it is God's number. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something serious, and I had contemplated on whether I was going to do this video or not because I really believe that I've done it before. And I went back to look at some videos, and although I have a lot of testimonies, I wasn't sure, and I find it just imperative just to get out what I experienced, and preferably no one has to go through any of this, but just for awareness. So I do live in Georgia, and I'm just going to really get to the meat of the story. I was leaving up out of a certain place, and I was going into another place, which happened to be about 3 stores down. So as I started to go into the place, which was a convenience store, and I really don't want to say where it was, so I'm just going to say definitely in the area that I live in Georgia. And so I walked in, and as I was walking in, I noticed there was a van with a man inside the van parked right. So if I'm coming down the sidewalk, the cars park up toward the door. And I'll tell you it was a gas station, so I could at least tell you that. In the gas station, I walked in. I didn't think anything because the guy, he was in the vehicle and was parked there before I walked in. So when I walked in, I started walking down all the aisles. I kind of didn't know what I wanted that day. I wanted a snack. And since I wasn't sure, I was kind of walking around a little more deeply in the store than typically. So I kind of walked around a little bit, one aisle, trying to just kind of figure things out. And then I noticed the individual came inside the store. So when he was in the store, I noticed he was walking around, but again, I wasn't paying that much attention to him, but it was enough for me to notice that he was not buying anything, or he seemed to not be buying anything and seemed to not know what he wanted either. So I thought maybe that was the case, and didn't think again that much of it. So as I'm walking around, and I had to have been in the store 7 minutes or so because I was just that indecisive. And I noticed that he was never picking up anything. He stayed kind of close to me, but near where the door is, where we came in at. And this particular location has 2 exits. But I'm always going out the side exit, so I just didn't think anything. I walked up to the front to make my purchase, and I noticed in the store that it was just he and I that was in the store as I was walking around. Because I had so much time, I could tell I was aware. And he was still in the store. He hadn't come to the register. And then he was kind of like idling by where the doorway is. So there was I think they had like a stack with some shoes stacked up on right by where you walk into the door. So he kind of walked over there and was like fishing around looking at them. So once I made my purchase, I decided now, it's time for me to leave. I started walking toward the door. And as quickly as I was walking toward the door and had gotten toward the door, he literally lost interest in whatever he was looking at and came directly behind me, but with a quickness that I noticed. Like, it was just, it let me know at that time he literally was preying on me. When I got to the door, I put my hands on the door to push it outward to walk out, and he was literally on me. And when I say he was on me, I could feel his body on me. He was that close. And not just that, but this particular store has a glass window, which most gas stations have anyway, but it's a glass window. And I could see, because it was nighttime anyway when I walked in there, I could see behind me, like through the glass mirror, him just like literally on top of me. And I was thinking to myself, like, in a split instant, the moment he touches me or whatever I think he's going to do, I was ready to fight like crazy. I was going to yell and scream like I already knew, because you could just tell. Now, some people might say, well, why'd you go outside? That's the thing about thinking you would do something that you don't know that you would do, because you're not even thinking you're going to be in a situation like this, or you're not even, your mind is not it's just there's no way to describe what someone would do until they're in a certain situation. But I did know that I was getting ready to scream out anything in the name of Jesus, because I don't play, and I know my God doesn't play concerning me, because he knows I trust in him. So I was getting ready, and I had ramped myself up to go. And then I was going to stay near the door anyway, so that the people in the store that work in the store would be able to hear me. Well, but before my mind could even think, it was thinking there, but before I could react or do anything, I noticed him, and right directly behind him, I noticed somebody else that was right on top of him. And he was a tall, and I know he was a black guy, because this individual that was in there following me around, he was black. But this individual was taller, and he was black, but he wasn't in the store. The whole time we were in the store, this man was not in the store. So when I was walking out and the man was like literally on me, I was able to see in the glass the man, and then I saw the other man. I was thinking, what? So when I opened the door, I turned around to look, and the other man was on top of him just as much as he was on top of me. Like literally, there's nothing he could do. He couldn't do anything. When I tell you, I took off running back to my original location. I could barely get the key in the door to come in to the location. I was just thinking, like, I can't believe like that happened. And I knew immediately, like, I was able to process everything and see how this individual, now that I'm starting to hear the different stories about the kidnappings and things that are going on, he must have been there and decided to take the opportunity. And he found the time, or what he thought was the perfect opportunity. His van was right near the door. And I would have a small area to work with, as far as like, he wouldn't have that much. It was such a small space between where he parked and the door. He wouldn't have had to struggle that long. Well, being a male, depending on what he was trying to do. But I was ready. And I was thankful when I got inside the building. I was telling everybody what happened. I was shaking. And that was somewhere around, I would say probably, so we're in December now, June of this year. And at that time, I had no idea of what was going on. I knew obviously people have been getting kidnapped or abducted. Things have been happening to people since before I was on this planet. And you don't think like you have to be in danger of walking down a sidewalk to go into another establishment. You don't think like that. You're just doing what you feel like you need to do. But you don't have a thought that you're going to have to fight for your life or fight for your safety. And I just want to tell you that when I thought about God's goodness and how he took care of me, there's nothing compared to having God on your side and God watching out for you. Because when you don't think you know, or you don't think there's anything to be afraid of, the danger, he always sees the danger. So I just want to say I have to give him the glory, because he was the one that allowed the individual, whether it was an angel, I mean, I don't know where else he came from. He wasn't in the store. I've never noticed him before. I go in that store all the time. I know who works in that store. This individual was not in the store, so I don't know where he came from. And I don't know how he was on top of the other guy as quick as he was. Where did he come from? But I give glory to God about it. So if you feel within your heart that maybe something is going on, I know we're now, a lot of us have heard the stories and we're on top of this. And a lot of the ladies are going to carry or find other ways to defend yourself. Looking back at it, my husband said, you could have went out the other door, but I wasn't thinking like that. There's no way I was thinking this guy was going to try to do anything. And he didn't seem to be watching me, just kind of lurking around. Excuse me. And I could not have known that he was going to be right on top of me as I was walking out that door. There's nothing. The speed the speed and the care and precision he took to be on me that quick was scary. So you can go from just kind of browsing and looking at something to just like literally it went from this focus to that focus, and he was on me that quick. So just be careful, be careful, be careful, women, be careful. I've also posted a story about me going to Walmart late at night. That was about, gosh, it had to have been about 15, 16, yeah, maybe 17 years ago, something like that. I'm trying to think about my son's age. So about 17 years ago, I think, yeah, that happened to me, where someone tried to do some things to, I don't know what they were trying to do, but it was pretty scary, and it was in a Walmart parking lot, and God saved me from that too. So anyway, amongst all the stories I've been hearing, I just felt it to be a good idea to just go ahead and post what happened to me. I pray you guys are staying safe, and just knowing that this is crazy times. I mean, the Bible spoke that this kind of thing would happen. It seems even worse than what I could have thought from what I read. So just trying to just stay safe and doing everything that you can to keep yourself protected. So I will see you guys in the next video, and I pray that you are all well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.